Russell Simmons speaks publicly about Young Thug and Gunna's case.
This is about Young Thug and Gunna, and it's about hip hop, it's about entertainment, and I want to share some thoughts. Although I'm not friendly with Young Thug, I've only met him once. I've never met Gunna. I have been in hip hop for many years, and I represented, I don't know how many, maybe over 100 successful rap artists. I remember when Run DMC got hot, one example, but I can give you many. Hollis Crew. The Hollis Crew became more popular, and you know the weirdos in the group that grew up, the artists, the alternative people, they talked about the experiences that they saw and the people they grew up with reverence. They never distanced themselves too far from them because are you better than the Hollis Crew run? No, of course not. In fact, what did we do? We dragged some of the people out of the hood who were in very scary situations and got them in the music business. And then their families today are doing well, and they're doing well, and their lives were enhanced, and their lives were saved by Run DMC. I saw the same thing with everybody from Eric B. and Big Daddy Kane and just about every artist you know, they lifted up people from their hood. They never denounced the hood, nor did they demonize or look down on the people who were left struggling or scrambling, as we used to call hustling, scrambling, selling scrambling. That's a long time ago. That's like some old school shit. But we never, ever denounced or look or denied that we came from and that we love the people in the hood. Ever. Just like if you snatch Robert De Niro because he was hanging out with the gangsters that hung out with him, or Frank Sinatra. And then got his movie. Frank Sinatra played a gangster. Robert De Niro played many gangsters. What are you going to do, lock him up? Because the people he grew up with, you know, all the gangsters that's in The Sopranos, them ain't gangsters. But they talk like gangsters. Their friends is gangsters. They try to drag their friends out of gangster behavior. They support them in the best way they can. They don't invest in them. There's no business that they created with them. They just try to drag them out of the situation. So if they were mob dudes and kids grew up on the block and became mob dudes on TV, actors, they're not in jail like Young Thug. This is ridiculous. And it's what they're doing to rappers. It's racist. You didn't do it to De Niro. You didn't do it to all of the guys from The Sopranos. You didn't do it to Frank Sinatra. You didn't do it to everybody coming out the hood, got to rep the hood. Everybody got to save the hood. Young Thug got Gunna and brought him out the hood. The other young man who just died, I can't think of his name, they dragged him out the hood. Run had the Hollis Crew record. Hollis Crew. And DJ Hurricane became DJ Hurricane, and the rest of the Hollis Crew were in, and they made a record. They were recording artists. And some of the Hollis Crew were gangsters. But they would come to the concert. They would protect Run DMC. Because you got to protect a rapper. They were the security. And then some of them who were security became A&R directors. And one in particular really became very successful from just thinking about Run DMC right now. Because I was part of lifting this man up. And then some of our friends got, a lot of them. A lot of the guys who hung out with me, who came to hang out with me because they were dealers and gangsters and thugs, they came to hang out with me on a regular basis. And they only brought enough for us to use. They didn't have a trunk full of but they would come up downtown from Harlem or from Queens. They'd come to see me, and we'd go places they could never go on their own. And they could dream about escaping the hood like me. Many of them were happy to work as roadies for Run DMC or for any of the, I don't know how many bands we had. So many. We had so many rappers. They should stop saying, by the way, oh, they had more influence or did more. We did more than all of them. We did more than all of them. Whenever they talk about who's, so I don't want to, it's not ego, but it's absolutely true that none of them had more artists and built more careers and made more millionaires than we did at Def Jam. Our family is the most vast and did the most. So all of the people who I love, who keep talking about, stop it. Stop kidding yourself. Def Jam is the greatest of all time. And there's no question. Because I birthed you. You forgot that Rockefeller came from us.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
What else? Inc., Outburst, Rough Riders, Def Squad. I mean, people that we mentored. And they did great. And they mentored others, but we made more millionaires than anyone. Anyway, many of those millionaires and many of those people who just became successful in the music business or in other businesses that we supported came out the hood. And what they were doing before we helped them get out the hood was just hood activity. And none of it was ours. That was theirs. And Young Thug, definitely. He's the guy with the weirdo wore a dress. I heard about him. I mean, I heard from others. They say, oh, he was the alternative guy. Wasn't the leader of a gang. Wasn't one of the leaders of a gang. So that's what they all say. But if Young Thug was, then so was every rapper. And so was every Italian movie star who played a gangster. And everybody who can play the role of a thug had a thug for a friend. And I just hope that there's something we can do not to let the feds put this man in jail who's done so much for his community and who's lifting his community up. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm sure he's, also even some of the stuff out their mouth, it's stories from the hood that they tell because they're exciting to you, and they could never. And it was exciting, like, wow, we almost did. You didn't do it yourself. Your friends did. And you may be aware of it. You didn't promote it. You didn't create it. And I'm saying that every artist, not just them, I keep saying over and over again, so that every artist go to jail for having been grown up in. I couldn't stop, some people passed away. Gusto, they chopped his head off, his brother. Anyway, Heartbeat, Carly, Supreme, Fat Cat. I mean, I could name so many gangsters who came around hip-hop because it gave them a view of a more healthy lifestyle. And they didn't corrupt the rappers. The rappers mostly tried to uplift them. Some rappers were corrupted a bit, but they didn't become major dealers. Not the ones I represented. Some, played the role of the street tighter than the street really was not necessary. My point is, using these rap lyrics, if De Niro said something in Goodfellas, are you going to use it against him because his friends is gangsters? That's what they're doing to our artists. And I think that our community should stop acting like they accept it. We keep acting like we accept so much shit. It's unbelievable. We accept that the Black Lives Matter girl bought a house. When you have $100 million, you buy a house under the name of Black Lives Matter, owned by Black Lives Matter, that you can have retreats and podcasts and 20 parking spaces and all of the artists can have, not the artists, the activists can have offices. Every church owns equity. So they destroy Black Lives Matter. We keep getting destroyed. We have no media. We can't count on, I would hope that Shade Room would magnify our realities because they're the biggest media we got. 400 black newspapers could print something and they wouldn't even look to see if it was true. And we have, the LA Sentinel and Washington Informer and Amsterdam News. We have all those newspapers that are in our hood, but they're not reaching the mainstream, and the mainstream is building narratives about black people and black communities that is not true. Can we tell the truth about what artists who come out of the hood are saying and doing, and how using their lyrics is illegal or wrong? It only works with black people. It's not happening to the other artists. So anyway, I just spoke to somebody from 300, and made me feel sad about the Young Thug situation and about what they're doing to all of our black institutions and organizations and how we're not protecting them. And it's heart-wrenching that we so easily turned against our brothers. And I'm praying that we will be different, be more critical in our thinking, and not allow them to demonize our people and destroy our young leaders. Young Thug is doing good work in his community, but was destined to do more good work in his community, as all our successful artists end up doing. Every rapper I remember looking back at all the charities built by the rappers, every rapper doing something in his community. Once they get about two years older, they start to really look back and do more. And I'm praying that Young Thug has the chance to look back and do more for his community. And his Gunna kid and whoever else they may try to attack using lyrics that are theatrics, that are entertainment. I hope they're not saying things that their friends did are true. If they are, then that's dumb. But if they are, then you have to go after the criminals, not the artists. Thank you for listening to me ramble.
Thanks for tuning in to 9 Mag TV.